Hello, everyone. After listening to Dr. Barrett's TED Talk, I learned something surprising. I did not realize that decades of research shows that emotions aren't something already hardwired into the brain. Built, not built in, as Dr. Barrett says. I was always under the impression that our brains contained some sort of ancient networks that held at least the seeds of emotions, and that as we grow, we create our own emotion schemas based on these seeds that become more sophisticated through our own experiences. It's fascinating to me that our brain is just interpreting other people's emotions by connecting personal knowledge of facial expressions and body gestures to make prophecies of how people feel. There are so many situations we use these predictions of others' emotions at work and at home, in our legal systems, or in politics. This makes me wonder if we are just predicting emotions and not actually reading them. What does this mean for the entire social systems we have created based on this process? How do we adjust our methods and find a way to read what emotions are actually occurring in the brain, or avoid speculation regarding a person's emotions? I know what it's like to make that mistake. There was a time I completely misjudged the reactions of a person I used to work with. A while back, I was training in a new job, and a woman I was working with was showing me around the office. And during my orientation, she demonstrated how to enter a code into the copier, and it made an awful noise. She opened the front panel to look inside, and it started to leak toner dust all over the floor. She began to giggle nervously while trying to fix it and said things like, "Well, here we go again," or "I needed this today," and all the while she's laughing. And based off her reaction, I thought she's just the type of person who's happy-go-lucky and looked at life through a comical lens. However, this behavior of laughing at anything upsetting continued even in uncomfortable situations like office meetings. So one day, she got a call from her daughter's school letting her know that she had an acute asthma attack and she was going to the hospital via ambulance. She started to giggle at that and cry at the same time, going on how this is her life, or wouldn't you know it, what this would happen, or I really hope she's okay. And I began to realize I totally misread her giggling. And what I thought was positive, just a positive outlook, was actually the defense mechanism of laughter to cover her anxiety over stressful situations. I came to realize at that point I read her emotional displays completely wrong. That experience taught me that I can't make assumptions about emotions based on what I observe. Although it is challenging not to assume how a person is feeling because it's so ingrained in us to think this way, it's more prudent to abstain from guessing. A better suggestion might be to actually ask the person how they're feeling with open-ended questions and try to have a conversation. There's always the potential that they're not going to be honest or avoid talking altogether. However, it's a better way to understand a person's emotion than just assuming you know based on past experiences with others. Another way to affect interpretations is by working on controlling my own internal assessments of my emotions, or as Dr. Barrett calls this, being the architect of my own emotions. While the idea that basic emotions weren't hardwired into my brain surprised me, I was actually excited about the fact that she said we have more control and responsibility over our emotions than first thought. I like the idea that I have control to put a new spin on how my anxieties affect me, to turn the inner thoughts of fear to excitement, or to know that I can take something that feels like dread and turn it into wonder, or anger over what somebody said into curiosity about what they mean. Being emotionally intelligent would not only benefit myself, but also those around me. As I learn to manage my own emotions, it would help me improve my communication skills, allowing me to have more empathy towards those around me. Thank you for your time.